Good evening. Happy Friday. I hope you've had a good week. Welcome to Creations by Gwili. This week has been my 5 lives every night this week, and it's trees, trees, and more trees. So we're going to do our last, maybe not my last one till Christmas, but the last one for this week. We're actually going to do 2 trees tonight. Have you found us on Facebook, Ed?
Yeah.
To know we're live? Okay. Okay, I see day 4. Let's see. Make sure we're on.
Maria,
Hi, ladies. Thank y'all for being here tonight. I will tell you tonight is not a difficult craft, but it takes a lot of prep. Pretty much for both of them. When you start dealing with scrapbook paper, you know there's measuring and cutting. So I did that 2 days ago, most of it. I did see Connie from Connie's Creations. I watched. I don't know that she did it live today. It might have been her live from yesterday. She did one similar to what I'm going to make, only she used a book. And she did it squares, which I think would be really pretty. But she cut a lot more pieces and stuff than I have. So when I get done with this one, if I have time next week or sometime, I may try one with the squares. It's kind of done the same order of the circles, but I thought it was just really cute. But anyway, before we get started tonight, Ed's like this. Were you scratching your ear? Or?
Well, I was going to say Barbara Rosecrans said hello, and Terry Surgeon said good evening.
Hi, Terry. We
and
didn't.
Happy Veterans Day.
Thank y'all. And same. Oh, well, I'm not a veteran, so Ed's not a veteran, but his dad was. We've had a good day. Rain just started a few minutes ago, and it's supposed to be bringing a cold front. I think we're just supposed to be like 50 tomorrow, which will be nice. So I appreciate y'all watching. If you're new to my page, let me just tell you how I do my thank you gifts. Once a month, I will draw. The very last day of the month, I draw out of our blessing bag. And that person, I pick a different gift every month. This month is actually a 2-tiered tray for Magnolia. And mine came in today, and I'm going to show it to you so that you know exactly what you would be getting. But the way you get your name in there is to comment. Comment a lot, because at least twice during the live, Ed is going to take just a random screenshot, and those names, if you've made a comment, your name will be in the blessing bag. Also, if you share this video with your friends on your page, just hit that share button down there, put it on your page, come back and say that you did. And if Facebook told me that you did, then your name's going to go in the bag twice. I didn't want to leave out all those people that have to watch the replay. So I go back and put in, if you're watching the replay and you're not catching it live, put hashtag replay, and I will pick one name. So this week you've had 5 chances to get your name in there a lot. So next week I'll just be doing lives on Monday and Thursday, and then the following week there will not be any lives, and I'll remind y'all about that on my page. But the end of November is when we're going to draw for this 2-tier tray, and I wanted to show it to you because it's really neat. And like I told you last night, you can paint it, but this is how it will come to you. That's why I ordered it from Magnolia Designs rather than buy one from Hobby Lobby, because I can just mail it right in this box. But this is the way it comes. I just got it today, and you put it together, but before it's got everything you need, all the pieces, and it's just a matter of screwing the little things in. Of course, you know this is your handle on top. But it's a pretty wood, but if you want to stain it darker color, you do that. If you did, you want to look at the wood? If and it's two tiers to it.
Looks like a maple.
I don't know what kind of wood it is, but I mean it's substantial, and you can use the Magnolia stencils on it. You can paint it. You can do whatever you want to. You know you can leave it this color, but that's what the thank you recognition gift is. And of course, this is the one that goes in the middle, it looks like here.
Ladies,
I think I
thank you for
probably,
the blessings and the share.
yes, thanks, ladies. I think I probably could even put this together, which it has to be simple, right? Okay, so that, when we say a two-tiered tray, that's what I'm talking about. That's going to be our blessing gift for this month. Last month, Miss Ann Travis won a Bodabra, and she's already making bows with it. Okay, so the tree that we're going to do tonight, I started it.
Terry said it's beautiful wood.
It is beautiful wood. I'm going to tell you how I started it. You've got to cut out a lot of circles, let me tell you. But I took a, what's this called? It's like a clay pot. It's the terracotta pots. And just stuck a little bit of, what's this stuff called? Styrofoam in it, glued it. And then I just took a skewer, because it's got a sharp edge here, and put it down in this hole and down into the styrofoam, and held it to make sure it was straight. And that makes it where you can pick it up, you know, it's not wobbly. That's how I made my base for this one. Very simple, very easy. So the circles. This is a little bit different than what I saw on Pinterest. Pinterest just had a bunch of the circles. And as I started doing it, I thought, well, you can't really see the pattern underneath it very well. So I kind of changed and started cutting little X's, V's out of them. And I like it. We'll see how it turns out. I don't know. But, and then I put some spacers in between it so that it made it a little different. I just guessed at how many I needed. And y'all, there was no rhyme or reason to my sizes. I don't even know. Well, I can show you what I used to cut my circles. I don't have a thing that cuts circles. So I had to come up with things around my house to get circles. And I knew I wanted to start about this size. And it is actually, that's what's on the bottom. This is actually 6 inches. So
the disposable soup bag.
yeah. So my biggest circle is 6 inches. And I just knew I wanted to go down from there. So then I also used, this is a lid to, had our dog bones in it. And it is 4 3/4. So technically you might want to do 6 inches, 5 1/2, 5, you know, if you want to get that picky. That's where there's so much cutting with the squares, because you actually can be very precise with those. And what she did, she started with a 4-inch square, and she cut 9 4-inch squares. She actually used a book, paper, you know, but I think scrapbook paper would be really pretty. And then she went down just 1/4 of an inch all the way to 0. So it was about 20 cuts, different sizes. She had taken cardboard and cut her out little patterns, and then she had to keep all those separate. Hers was very full. This is probably not going to be that full because, you know, I didn't. This was my 3. It's a lid to a bowl. This was, no, wait, this was 3. One of them was 3, one was 4. They're real close to the same size. And then for my smaller ones, I just used the outside, and then I flipped it over and used the inside. So just find something, whatever sizes you want to use, and you want to cut, I just guessed, I cut 8. I got 8 different pieces of scrapbook paper. So each size had 8 different circles to it. So I have kind of started it, because I know, you know, y'all, I try to prep as much. But I'm going to tell you what I decided to do. I decided to put a little spacer in between so that it just didn't lay flat. So I tried a bead. Well, the beads that I had that would go through here just made too large of a space. So I actually took some foam board and cut little squares. I thought about buttons. I was going to use buttons, but none of my buttons had a hole this big. So we're going to use these little pieces of foam, and it's the same foam board I used to make our fabric tree with the other night. So I'm going to put a piece of foam between every two pieces. Now, I started out with, this is probably size 3 to maybe size 4. That says 3 on the back. So I started out just putting them like this. But you can see when they're all 8 of them are the same size, then you couldn't really see. So what I started doing, and you can do this if you want to, or I would suggest kind of doing it in squares, because I'm going to try that. I just kind of cut out these, not all the way to the center. I just kind of did like 4. And y'all, your circles don't have to be perfect. Nothing I do is perfect. And I'm using pinking shears because I think that gives it a pretty look. Okay. So you're just going to cut like 4 different V's out of it. See, this looks like a saw, actually. Now, if I was trying to do a pinwheel, look at this. If I was trying to do a pinwheel or a saw, I never could do it. All right, so I'm going to take one of these, and it's just foam, so it goes right on there. Put it, that kind of stabilizes. Then you're going to take your paper, just kind of find the middle, doesn't have to be perfect, punch it in there, and then turn it to where you make sure you can see the piece underneath it, to where, you know, don't put your things in the same spot. So this one I will turn to where it's kind of, does that make sense? To where you can see the one underneath it. Then I'm going to put another piece of foam. And if we think this is too much, we can always flatten them a little bit. And I'm going to take 2 more pieces. I did get my scrapbook paper out of a Christmas book. So all the colors kind of coordinated. You just use whatever you've got, whatever you like. And like I said, I would have done the squares, but y'all, I already had all these circles cut, and I wasn't going to today sit down and cut that many squares. But I am going to try that, because I think it'd be really pretty. Okay, so then I'm going to take this one, and just push it on that skewer and turn it opposite of the one that's underneath it. And you're just building your tree. I have no idea how tall this tree will be because I've not made one before.
If you want a shorter tree, you can always cut the skewer off.
Oh, yeah. But you would need to use less pieces of scrapbook paper because you want to go to pretty small. I think I did 6 different sizes, I believe. And I have no idea what I'm going to do for the top. We'll worry about that when we get there. And if you want to be precise, you could do a 6-inch square and then go on down, 5-inch, 4-inch, 3-inch. Okay. Did I put...
Barbara said it's going to be a big tree.
I don't know. You'd be surprised. I didn't put my spacer in there. I just decided I wanted to try to do a spacer for every 2 because I felt like you could see them better. And it helps stabilize it where it doesn't rock a little. It may be ugly. Who knows? But like I said, I am going to try to do the square ones. But that's a lot of cutting.
I don't believe I've ever seen a Christmas tree like that out in the woods.
Not everybody gets that tree out in the woods. Right?
I reckon.
Okay, so that got that size, so I'm going to go down to the next size, which is, once you get it cut, roughly 4.5 inches. And I really should, let's see if my scissors will cut through all of them, because I got thinking, if I cut them in different places, see, I'm learning as I go. So I'm going to try to cut them all.
The surgeon says it's will be beautiful when you're done.
I hope so. It'll be different, that's for sure. I actually like the second one better that I'm going to show y'all. But it takes a lot of prep too. All right, see, that's not perfectly the same sizes. It's not exactly across, but it doesn't matter. Okay.
It's going to be a very colorful tree, Barbara Rosecrans said.
Yeah, it will.
Quite, Sandy Renshaw says, quite different than any I've seen.
See, we're just getting smaller. I have this one marked because I had to mark them when I was first cutting them. So let's put another spacer. I'm trying not to push down too hard on it. And do 2 more. You don't have to keep the pattern. I did pretty much use the same paper because I could get like 6 out of 1 sheet of paper.
Is that shish kebab skewers?
Yes, it is. Just a little piece of wood. Okay. You could kind of take your frustration out on this a little bit.
Sandy Renshaw said she got here late. What did you use for a base?
I used a terracotta pot, put some styrofoam in the bottom, and then stuck a wooden, I painted them green, and then I hot glued the stick, which is just a shish kebab skewer. I hot glued it down in through this hole into the styrofoam. You could use, I think I brought them in here. Yeah, Hobby Lobby sells these wood things. You could actually drill a hole. That's a pretty good size one. That's what I used for my little tree, was one this size. Ed was still in bed asleep, so I tell you what, I got an ice pick and just stuck the ice pick down in there and just kept getting it deeper until it was big enough for me to put my skewer in for the little tree that I
There's
did.
several $1,000s worth of drills.
Yeah, there is, but I was scared I'd cut my finger off. And besides, that's your shop, not mine. You won't touch my crafting stuff. We keep trying to get him to craft something. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the next size, which, you know, we may have to cut off some of that. All right.
Timothy Surgeon says great way to do it yourself.
Yeah. You just don't want to cut all the way to the middle because you know you're going to be poking a hole in there. And boy, that was really crazy. We're just going to go. It's going to be difficult as they get to be where there's just 2 of them. I think I just ripped that one. We're going to put a little bit of glue on this one to take care of where I ripped that. Now I'm going to have glue on my stick. Okay. Note to self, don't go so far in on these little ones. These are right at 3 inches. And with them, I'm just doing 2. Because if you tried to do, you wouldn't have a whole lot left if you did 4.
Terry Surgeon says I have to do that myself a lot since my husband is out of pocket so often when I need him.
And it works out fine, huh, Terry? Okay, so I'm going to turn that one that way. Like I said, if you want a bigger tree, you just cut more circles. So what has been y'all's favorite tree so far? Oops, we didn't put a spacer in there.
Terry Surgeon says I think he hides sometimes.
He hears I need and he's gone, huh? Oh, that was that glue. Let's do this one. And I'm turning this one this way. We're going to put another spacer, and some of these are pretty big. Let me find something kind of small. As we get smaller and smaller, I probably will have to cut these spacers or not use them at all. All right, this is the last of the little 3-inch ones. And then I just have 2 more, and that's...
Maria Francisco says the book.
The book tree, or the book. Yeah.
Terry Surgeon says my favorite's been the Scrabble tree, and especially since I can switch the words up.
Yeah. And you make the words what you want, whatever you want to. I was talking to my granddaughter on FaceTime this afternoon, showing her. Now that's going to rip. Okay, I need something sharp to get it going. That ain't sharp enough. Maybe it is. I need my eye. Oh no. No. You want me to cut my hand off on a live? I need my little ice pick, but okay. We got it. I can't see. Okay, we're going to cut the little spacers a little smaller. And I don't know that we may not cut these at all, or maybe just one spot, because see, they're really small. They're about 2 inches. So maybe if we just cut one V in it and then turn it.
Terry Surgeon said this one may be another favorite, but I love the book tree as well.
I don't know what my favorite. I did.
Mine's the book tree.
I did like the book. I'm working on the angel, y'all. I've got. Hand me my book over there, Ed. You see it on the counter? I've been working on folding that over there. Coffee bar. I've been working on folding my book, or my half book, for, so I've got this much of it done. I just have this much left to go. So maybe next week I'll be able to show you a finished angel.
Sandy Renshaw said my favorite was the hardback book tree and the Scrabble tree.
Okay. We'll see if maybe I can cut too little. It just doesn't give me much place to put a hole if I do much. Okay. It's not a sharp pencil either, y'all.
I offered you a pocket now.
You're trying to kill me. Okay, we definitely don't have enough circles, pretty sure, to cover all the way up to the top, but we'll see. And I have no idea what I'm going to do on the top. I don't even think I brought anything in here for a topper. I have 4 more of these. Now, see, it seems like there's a huge gap between this one and this one. If I did it again, I would make one. I could go and cut a couple of these, and I may do that to where they're not such a, it looks like it's a good 1.5 inches difference there. That's why I like to do things ahead of time. So I've done one, but I couldn't cut these circles and stuff twice. The way the circles came out of these, that piece of scrapbook paper almost looked the same, but it's not. Now my glue has gotten hard. And that's what's fun about crafting. You know, you try something, and if you don't like it, you change it. Okay. Yeah, I definitely will trim this row right here because that's too... I'm going to do that right now because that's bugging me. Shouldn't be that hard just to kind of trim these. But I'm going to pull it around so I know what I've cut. That's just how you adjust, ladies. It's like, okay, I don't like it like that, I'm going to change it. I got up this morning and changed, I don't know if y'all noticed from the picture, I got up and changed the candy cane tree from last night. I didn't like just those one little bow up there. So I added like half of another bow and some little sparkly things.
Sandy says, I think I would add another layer just bigger than the smaller circles.
Uh-huh. But I think this will help. I'm just cutting a couple of these that are so much bigger because it definitely needs something there. But it's moving on me.
That's the hazard of making the first time on
Yep. Yep. When you don't like it, you got to fix it. But I can say, you know, don't do what I did. And honestly, I would say if you're going to do one, try the squares. And what she did is she started with 4 inches and she did 9 pieces of paper at 4 inches and laid them aside. And then she did 3 3/4, 9 pieces, laid them aside. And then she did 3 1/2, 9 pieces. So every 1/4 of an inch, 9 of each. Okay, I think I can adjust it a little more. I think that'll be easy enough to do after a while. But yeah, definitely that was too big of a jump. But when I first started cutting the circles, I was just looking for something I had in my kitchen. So Okay, so we're going to put another little piece of styrofoam up here, because I think I just have the little bitty, like, buttons. And they're actually cut with my, what was the name of this place? Creative Memories hole punch. Now, it would have been a breeze if I'd had all the hole punches. Now, see, there's no way I'm going to put any kind of cut in that.
Sergeant says just like a real tree, sometimes you have to trim them.
That's true.
To make it fit the room and look more symmetrical.
That's true.
And Sandy Renshaw says, do you have any little wooden stars to put on the top?
I do. I've probably already put them back out in my storage unit. But I do have some stars. I could paint one red, or... But y'all will get the idea. I wasn't sure how far it was going to come up on the stick, so I didn't know how much room. I'm going to have to cut off the stick, probably.
I'd take a pair of dikes and cut it off.
Yeah. We'll do that tomorrow, and put something on the top. I'm having to cut down my little pieces of foam, though, because I don't want it as big as my circle. And, you know, you could decide to do 10 different, I just did 8. You could do 10 pieces of scrapbook paper, and they wouldn't have to all be different. All right. Let's make sure you can't see that. A little bit, but not much.
Sandy says looking good.
Okay. I think once I go back and trim some of this and put something on the top, I mean, it's cute. It's different. But it definitely needs a trim. But that's an idea.
Open it up again.
Up. Yeah, definitely needs trimming, but I won't have y'all sit through that. But I am going to try the squares. Okay. I'm going to put these away because for my filler for the next one, I'm going to use buttons. All right, see, we didn't really use glue on this one except for gluing our stick into the... Only thing I brought in here was some bling, but I was going to use it on this next one maybe. Okay, let me get some of this out of the way. The handy helper. The hand of the helper. Okay, now the next one I think is going to be really pretty. And I'm going to tell you, until I did these, I'm hot, y'all. Until I did these, I had never made I think it's called a rosette, to where you take strips, but this is the idea. And I've done about half of them. But I'm actually going to put them on a base. Okay. When I saw it on Pinterest, they didn't have anything between them. And I had to number these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they get smaller. 5. 6, and I have 3 more to do.
Miss Barbara wants to know if that's a cordless glue gun.
No, ma'am, it's not. I did have a cordless one, but it leaked. It seemed like really bad. So what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to show y'all how to, I'm going to give you the pattern, what you need to do. Have you ever made they call them rosettes. It's just folded paper backwards and forwards, and we're going to do one in a minute. But let me give you the things. You need 3 strips at 3 inches, and all of it is with a 12-inch. They're all 12 inches long, okay? So you need to measure 3 inches like this, and you need 3 strips, okay? That makes this largest one. You've got all 3 strips together. I'm actually going to kind of put them on a base. So, and this is just top of a candle thing. I didn't want to pick them up by the paper, so I thought, well, just put it on a base and give it a little substance there. I'm going to try to get it level in the middle. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a base. Okay? All right, that's what you needed for the largest one, and you only needed 3 strips at 3 inches. Okay, then you need 3 strips at 2 3/4 inches. That gives you one this size, which turns out to be right at 5 inches.
Terry Surgeon wants 3 inches that are
3
strips that are 12 inches long.
Yes, at 3 inches. So you want 3 of them. You want to measure your strip 3 inches and 12, 3 by 12. That's the way I have it wrote down. 3 strips at 3 by 12, and you're going to connect them all 3 together. I'll show you in a minute when we fold this one.
And Miss Sandy wants to know if you could put that on a skewer also.
I think you would pull, because you're going to see when we put it together, they're real close and they're glued in the middle. So I don't think so.
If you were really careful.
And they're pretty stiff. No, I don't, because you'd pull your glue apart and then you're going to mess up your folds. I wouldn't try a skewer. I would just get a base of some sort. And we're going to put buttons between them. I decided that today. Okay, so I told you 3 strips at 3 inches. Everything's by 12. Even when we get down, this one is 1 1/4, and it's still 12 inches, okay? 3 strips at 3 inches, 3 strips at 2 3/4. Then you only need 2 strips at 2 1/2, 2 strips at 2 1/4. You just get smaller. 2 strips at 1 3/4, which would make this size.
Is that readable? Could I get a copy?
They probably can't tell my handwriting, but I'll put it on my page if y'all want me to. 2 strips at 1 1/2, 2 strips at 1 1/4, which is what these are. I did all the others. I left 1 1/4, 1 inch, 2 at 1 inch, and then 1 at 3/4 inch. So we're going to kind of start stacking these, and then I'll fold those. But I had a whole bag of white buttons, and I thought, just to make it give it a little space, we are going to put some buttons between them. And I got all sizes, so I could start with a pretty good size one here. And I made the little round things, the top and the bottom. They suggested using double-sided tape and then cutting just a piece of paper. And I just went ahead and did a hole punch. Okay. I'm going to take and just...
Terry Surgeon wants you to put the measurements on your page.
Okay, I will. The only thing is you want to make sure you center them. See, that's going to put just a little bit of space between them. Not much. And it steadies it. So let's put another button up there. Let's get another big one because we're going to be going down in sizes here in a minute. As soon as I start stacking these, then I'll show you. You're ahead of the game if you know how to do a rosette. I think it's what they called. I'd never done one. I have folded. Do y'all remember way back when we were in school, we would take gum wrappers and fold them and make those little crisscross things? But that's why I numbered all these, so because they're real close to the same size. See, there's 4, and there's, see, 3 looks bigger than 4. I must have those wrong. No, I wouldn't do that. But that one is definitely smaller.
Sandy says, "Oh my, yes."
Oh, that's right. I'm going 1, 2, 3. I'm not going big. That's right. This one is next. Yeah. And once you get them folded like this, they're pretty sturdy. I'm just trying to make sure I keep it straight. Okay, another button.
You're just using the buttons for separation.
For just a little bit of separation. I don't think you'd have to. They didn't say use buttons. But, you know, I usually don't like to copy somebody exactly. I like to change it up a little bit. But I think this one's going to be really cute. But it is a lot of work. A lot of work cutting all these strips. Because you figure that's 1, 3 and 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 strips go in different.
Barbara said that's going to be a really different, pretty treat.
Make sure I get a flat button here.
See if I can get it closer.
I move it about the time you go to do it. I could center it better if I was standing up. Okay, that's 5. This one is 6. Another button.
Did you use a paper cutter to cut your strips?
I did. I measured them and then I used my paper cutter. I had to practice first because I wasn't sure I could do a rosette. Does that look straight to you?
It looks great to me. I like it.
Okay, so that's what we've got so far. And you can see the buttons a little bit, but that's okay. Look how pretty it is from the top. Okay, now let me show you how to get your rosette. Okay, we're working on number 7, which is 2 strips at 1 1/4. Is that out of the way? Okay, take your strips. And this is supposed to be, that's just the pattern. It's got like gold or beige splotches on it. You want to turn it up, let's see, 1/2 inch, about a 1/2 inch. And what I did, because you're going to be gluing these two together, I took the other one right next to it and folded it the same. These don't have to be perfect. I had some of them that, like, once you got ready to put them together, they were not the same size, but that's okay. It didn't matter. So what you're going to do is just take it, and I think it's called an accordion fold, and this one's down, so you're going to turn it over and come back this way. The exact same size. Turn it over and come back this way, and you're going to do, I call it the accordion fold. Now, they said, and I didn't have one, so I just used the end of my ruler. Sometimes there's a tool that scrapbookers or card makers use, some sort of bone folder. they said was really good. But I would just take my nails and make sure, you know, it's a good fold.
Miss Barbara said she had made these at one time.
So you're a step ahead, Miss Barbara. I saw it on Pinterest and I thought, that's really pretty. Let me see if I can do it. And like I said, I don't know what fold this is. And see, that one's not the exact same size, but it really doesn't matter that much at all. Now, it is harder to get them to come together when the smaller you get, so I've still got 2 more sizes after this. But you get the gist of it in case we lose power or something, but because that's all the others are. 2 of them took 3 strips. Your first 2, you had to have 3 strips to make them bigger.
Says I'm losing my internet immediately just when you're showing how to fold.
It's what I would call an accordion fold, but you can always go back and watch the replay. Hopefully our electricity won't go off and us lose our recording. Okay, now I don't want to fold that little bitty piece, so I'm just cutting it off. Okay, and I just did this to them and put them under something for a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to do this other one, same way. Then you're going to glue them together and make a long strip.
Sandy Renshaw said, is it storming there? It stalled for a little bit.
Well, right here, right this minute, it's not, but there's storms rolling through all around us. I was afraid. We had a big rainstorm. The cold front's coming through. And we're about an hour from Houston, and it was raining really hard in Houston. But, you know, with our internet, who knows? I would call this accordion. It's just backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And try to do the same size. Doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to be careful when you put them together. I even put one upside down one. I'm cutting off that little bit too. Okay, so what we've got now are 2.
Sandy Renshaw says it's cold in Missouri.
Really?
Yeah.
We've got these 2 little folded things, and we want to glue them together. But you want to make sure, like, don't take this piece and put it down flat on that piece, because then you don't have that ridge. You want to put it up to where it makes a ridge. Does that make sense? See how we put 2 together up to where they make a fold. Okay, so I'm going to put just a little bit of glue. You know, make sure I get the edges. And then I'm going to put this one on top of it. And hold it for just a minute. To where when you get that glued down. Let me add a little more glue right there. Oh, that's not the one. I put too much on the other one there. Okay, so it just kind of goes in with the other folds. Does that make sense? And you see they're not exactly the same size, but that doesn't matter. Now you want to do the same thing and make a circle. So you want to come over here, but now here I have one down, one up. So I am going to put this one on top of this one. So there, that's what you have. Does that make sense? Do y'all have any questions about that? All right, you know what? I don't have any, I didn't cut out any buttons Hang on a second. Let me make 2 buttons for this. I tried to match my buttons, but you wouldn't have to. I have to check, make sure I have it. Okay, there's 2 buttons for that one. Okay, now to get it, the rosette.
Leah said she's going to go back and watch the download.
Oh, okay. I just took it and kind of pushed them down like this. And this is where it said fold it. You want your see how all the edges went to the middle? You can straighten them out later. This is where they said use a little piece of double-sided tape, but I just put a little bit of glue there and pushed them in together, and I know my hand's in the way.
Sandra Renshaw said we went from 60-degree weather Wednesday to 28 degrees.
Wow. What's the temperature over there now, Ed? It was 81 about 4 o'clock today.
64.
So it went from 81 to 64. Okay, so I just took the middle and just kind of held them together. That's why I put the little buttons on the top.
You're talking about paper buttons, right?
They're just paper buttons, yeah. That helps hold it together a little bit. And I put a little bit of glue in the center. Now turn it over and kind of do the same thing. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on all these. That's why I don't think you could put a skewer through them. It would pull them apart.
Janice McWaters Resendez is watching. She said hi, everybody.
Hi, Janice. I think she was here last night.
Yes, she was.
I'm glad we didn't scare you away. Okay, so there's your smaller rosette. I think they get a little harder the smaller they get. We'll see. And this one didn't lay down real flat, so it may look a little weird on our tree. So let's see here. Let me get a flat button.
She said, I love your group.
Thank you. Was that Janice?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good group of ladies. They've been really good to watch my lives. I try to do things interesting and easy. My thing is easy and inexpensive. Now, true, a couple of these trees, you have to do some prep work. But all you're spending is money on scrapbook paper. See, that one was a little wonky. But no Christmas tree in the woods straight, is it, Ed?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So that was that one. Now we have to cut 1 inch. Any paper you want. So let me get my cutter here and figure out, let's see, I haven't done one of this yet. I thought about putting that right on top though. Let's do this one. I don't have 12 inches of that. So I have the green. Hi, Claudia. It's good to see you. I appreciate you watching. Okay, now I don't know exactly where my cutter is. I want to make sure I have 1 inch, which is not going to be very big. Okay. And then we might as well make two buttons. Oh, I need 2 1 inch. Okay. This is the last one that you need 2 pieces for. The very last one is just 1 strip, and I just knocked it off of there. And then I'm going to do 2 of the
Claudia Barnett says I definitely need to go back and watch the beginning on replay.
Well, that is the one good thing about Facebook, y'all. And also, that's not a complete circle, but it'll be okay. Also, I am on YouTube. I try to upload all my videos to YouTube. And boy, it took some work, the last couple ones, for some reason. Now, those are not even the same. Yeah, they are. No, they're not. It looks like one is like 1 1/4. Now, I wonder how I did that. We got to fix that, y'all. Let's see which one is 1 inch. Yeah. Because they won't match up. So let me cut this off. I was yakking before, remember?
Wait, it's live. It's live. Sit down.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll resume or this will be part 2. For some reason, my iPad just went dead, went to the Apple, and we had to restart it.
It kicked everybody off. There's one.
Oh, technology. Hopefully they'll be able to come back on the page. I'll have to figure out. Claudia's in California, time difference. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It just stopped.
Yeah, the iPad just went blank and got the apple of doom on it.
All right, that'll be close enough, I think. This is our 1 inch. So we're going to do the same thing. Now, I don't think it matters if it's upside down. This is a snowman and trees, so let me, just to be on the safe side, do it this way. So we're going to just do the same thing. If we happen to lose it again, we will, I only have 2 more to put on there. And I'm actually thinking about putting on the very top one, I'm thinking about adding one of these little, instead of a button or anything, adding one of these little buttons at the top of it. So we'll see. But if we lose it again, I will just see y'all Monday, and we'll finish talking about this particular tree. And by then, I'll have fixed this other one. But that didn't have anything to do. We didn't lose power. We didn't lose the internet. It was just the iPad.
This is an old iPad. We may be buying a new iPad.
Can you use heavy wrapping paper? I'm not sure. I would think probably so if it's about the thickness of scrapbook paper. Unless it's just too heavy that it won't bend very well. Because these get pretty small. Look how tiny this one is.
The only thing is how well it would hold a crease.
Yeah. Janice said it was buffering on her end. I'm wondering now when I go to post it to YouTube and stuff if it's going to be just one continuous post, because I didn't log back in or anything.
You'll have to look at it and see.
Oh, well. Hopefully everybody finds their way back.
About half of them is back.
Okay. So that's this one. This is our next to last one. Oh, I didn't fold it to make sure I had the same width. Because if you don't do that, then you've got, you know, a real fat one trying to put on a real skinny one.
Claudia Burnett says, I was thinking of making some of these for fall baby shower.
Oh. I bet they would be real cute with little bitty miniature baby pacifiers or, you know, something kind of around the edges. Bottles, baby bottles, rattlers, little bitty, the miniature things. Like you'd put on a corsage or something. It makes me think of a cake. Okay, had you gotten 2 screenshots tonight? Or just one?
Just one.
Okay, in a few minutes take another one so we make sure we get our 2. Okay. All right, we're going to lay these to make sure they're going in the right direction. All right, there's a house. I want it going this way. So we're going to take these 2 right here and put them together. Just hold it for a second. I think this one's really pretty, Sandy. I like this one. I knew when I saw the picture of it that I was going to like it. I just don't know how hard it's going to be to do these last couple of tiny ones. But I only have one more after this, so we'll see. Okay, so I've glued, got my, not really a circle, but let's get that bent again to where it's like it's supposed to be. And they said push it down and then push it together. Ooh, goodness. You need 3 hands.
It's harder to get smaller.
As it gets smaller? Yep. All right, I'm going to kind of hold it, put some glue in the center. But I don't like the way these 2 over here look. Okay. It wants to. That's why they said use tape. Because when you turn loose of it, it tries to come apart. Let me get some glue on this right quick. Okay. Once you get the top, it's easier to turn it over and then you can kind of fill the little center. Let the glue drip down in there and hold them together. And then kind of put it on the top of your folds. Boy, I don't know how I'm going to do smaller than that. Now that looks kind of weird because I didn't have the full circle there, but you won't see that. Okay, we got to put a button. We're going to go with a tiny flat button.
I don't know that you can go that much smaller.
One more, 3/4 of an inch. So they say, but I don't think you'd have to, but we're going to see how it works. Because, all right, what am I going to use? I think I want the top to be this, with the bling on top. Okay, so I'm going to measure 3/4 of an inch on my paper rather than use that thing.
Claudia.
And you only need one.
Claudia Barnett wants to know what brand of glue you use.
Gorilla Glue. That's all I buy. Is the Gorilla Glue.
Janice Resendez says these are so cute.
Thanks, Janice. I like them. I've got to decide for sure what I'm going to do about the other one. I'm sure I'll put some sort of star on it. But I'll have to get Ed to cut off the... What's that thing called?
Skewer.
Yeah. Okay. How are we for time? Oh, we're way past an hour. Okay.
7 minutes.
Oh, I thought it said 16, 7:16.
7:07.
Well, we pretty much got it done. It was the internet that messed us up, wasn't it?
Laptop.
Yeah, wasn't the internet. Okay. Let's see how we do this little bitty 1-inch thing. And I'm only going to need one of these because I'm putting something... Well, this may be too big, though. I'm going to put one on the bottom to hold it really well. And then we'll see if that button... I didn't look. I hope they don't have anything on the back of them. Nope, they're flat, so that's good. Okay. I need a small flat button.
Claudia Barnett says, great, thank you. I only use Gorilla Glue also.
Yeah, that's all I buy. It works so much better. I've never had any problem with Gorilla Glue. And I buy the Gorilla Glue gel. And I use E6000 for, like, if you're gluing glass or something. And the Gorilla Glue.
Claudia Barnett says, I have the same Fiskars paper cutter and I love it.
Yeah, I sure messed up that one cut, though. I must have been looking at the wrong line. Okay, I think that's turned out really cute. Now, what happened to my strip?
Put it in your lap. Did it fall under the table?
I didn't think I'd put it in my lap. It's so tiny. It's only 3/4 of an inch.
If I get out on my knee.
You'll never get up. Do you see it? Yeah. Wait, it's in the cutter. It's so narrow. Now that you've gotten down there.
You may have to call it clean to get.
Okay, so we only need one of these. We're still going to go about a 1/2 inch. Yeah. And we're going to fold this one. Trying to get this one together is probably going to be a pain, but we'll see. We may do the bottom first. The only way I know, I don't think I've ever heard this fold called anything but accordion fold. I can remember folding gum wrappers though. And you know, they're not very wide.
You were younger though.
Oh Lord, that doesn't affect my folding, he says as he moans and groans to get up from the floor. B7000. I've never heard of it. Claudia? Is it better than the E6000? Just a newer model? The only thing I hate about the E6000 is it stops up so bad. Somewhere I read the other day that if you put Vaseline over the top and around the top of your paint, that it wouldn't stick so. But I like the E6. Yeah, I've never heard of B7000. The top wouldn't be so hard to get off paint. So I don't know. I like to buy the E6000 in the little bitty tubes because then I don't feel like I'm wasting some. Okay.
Sandra Intro says I use a lot of E6000.
Do you make jewelry or something, Sandy? Or you use it for your wreaths? All right, I'm just kind of pushing those folds so they're really good. Now I'm going to make sure I don't goof this up. I think I need to fit those together like that. No? Maybe like that. Yeah, I think like that. Okay. Boy, that stuck really
Carly
quick.
Barnett says I use Vaseline around the top of both glue and paint, and also use the toothbrush turners to push the glue up.
Oh, yeah, we don't even have any of those for the toothpaste. Ed just squeezes from the bottom. Sometimes.
Sandy said she used it to make, E6000 used it to make bird feeders out of glass bowls and vases, but now she uses it for just about everything.
Yeah, it's really good. That's what I used on all the bases for my candle trees, the pedestals that I sent my nieces and nephews, because it holds glass really well. I use a little bit of regular hot glue so it instantly does it, and then the E6000. All right, let's see if we're going to be able to take this thing and turn it down. It doesn't want to. Oh, there went part of it.
Claudia Barnett says B7000 is strong and flexible and has thin nozzles.
Oh, to get in little places. Okay, I think we're getting it here.
Sure is little.
Yep, it's tiny. And if I don't hold them in just the right places, it's going to glue it wrong. I'm trying to figure out. It kind of helps like if you push down on the center of it. But when you got that hot glue there, you can't. I'm going to hold it for just a second. And I'm going to put this over here and I will post it. I'll call it the recipe for the, what? Rosette tree? Yeah, it is tiny. It's not but, well, it's about 1 3/4 inches. But it will be the top. All right, let me see if I can put glue all around these little things here and put a bottom on it. It is tiny. Okay. Let's see, we done got our button on there. That button may be a little thick. Maybe I don't put a button on this one, y'all.
I think I'd leave the button.
Hang on.
Cut your hand with that thing.
Don't think we needed the spacer there because it's so tiny. We're just going to do paper to paper for this top one. Yeah, that worked good. And really and truly, that's all they suggested to do. I added the buttons to give it just a little bit of space.
Probably Burnett wanted to know where you located. She said she's in San Francisco.
Oh, we are in a little place called West Columbia, Texas. It's about 60 miles southwest of Houston.
Almost directly.
Almost, yeah, we're almost at the coast. Okay. Let's see if this works. If not, we may not put anything. Yeah, I know. You're not supposed to use your teeth.
Well, I've got a cold shot on that. Look at what shows up on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I like the little bit of bling at the top. What do y'all think? Can you see the bling at the top? Let me see if,
They can see it.
okay, I'll turn it a little. I like the bling at the top. So that's what we're going to do.
Sandra Renshaw says love it.
Okay. So I will put the pattern or whatever, but I'll read it to you again if you want me to. You basically start at 3 inches, but everything's going to be 12 inches long, a whole sheet, the whole length of your scrapbook paper, 12 by 12. And you start with 3 inches and you go down 1/4 each time. So you've got 3 strips at 3 inches, makes this bigger one at the bottom. Then 3 strips at 2 3/4. 2 strips at 2 1/2. So see, it's going down 1/4 of an inch. Then 2 strips at 2 1/4. 2 strips at 1 3/4. 2 strips at 1 1/2. 2 strips at 1 1/4. 2 strips at 1. Then for the very top one, it's just 1 strip at 3/4 of an inch. So you basically start at 3 inches and go down from there, 1/4 of an inch each time. So, and I think it's a good size. It's staying, of course, now I put a little base on it. I'll take off my glasses and pick up a ruler. It's right at 10 inches. Your base now is probably an inch. So just
It was
depend.
just top off a candle, wasn't it?
It was the top off of a candle, yeah. But I felt like I didn't want to be picking it up by the paper. This gives me a little something at the bottom. You could even put a different pedestal thing on it. It's a little wobbly, but that's probably because of the buttons. Holds them up a little bit, but I think that one turned out really pretty. This one's going to need some work. But I mean, I like the idea, but I think I'm really going to try the squares. And you know what? This just dawned on me. These weren't for this tree. Do you see that they're not? These were my buttons for this. Because see, they're round. They're not cut with the pinking shears. But they're probably going to stay on there.
Andy Renshaw said that second one would be pretty with the pots like he used on the first one.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, it would. But, because it would put it up a little taller. Now that's the pot. That's the pot on the candle thing. See, it would make it a taller tree. So you could use anything for your base.
It would be about the same height as the other one, would minus the glass base.
I don't know. I think it's a little taller. Well, it's close. Of course, those aren't supposed to be on there.
We'll get rid of that tomorrow.
I don't know. Well, I may cut some more circles. But tomorrow's my football watching day. I don't know. I'll look at it and we'll decide. But it looks a little weird with these having the pinking shear edges, and all these up here are just straight. So I probably will pull these off. Nothing's glued, and cut some more. And I may pull from here and cut something closer to this and make it come on up. But we'll work on it. I probably won't take a picture or anything until Monday. So, okay, well that is the last, of our trees for now. I do have one more project back there that is tree, but it's like wooden trees from Magnolia Designs that I have some ideas for those. So did you do another screenshot a while ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ed has taken 2 screenshots. So let's see, y'all have a great weekend, and I'm hoping tomorrow it's cold enough for me to light the fireplace. That would be awesome. For me, just stand in my pajamas all day long, light the fireplace, and watch football. And not have to go out for anything. We have a busy weekends the next couple of weeks. But I will be back Monday, Lord willing, at 6 o'clock. So I'm not sure what the craft's going to be, but we'll do something. It'll be Christmas related for sure. So thank y'all so much, and I appreciate those of you that came back after my iPad went crazy. And hopefully those that didn't will be able to watch the replay, and hopefully there won't be a big glitch in there between there. I hope it came right back up pretty quick. So, all right, well, I'm going to get off of here now, and I will see y'all Monday at 6 o'clock.
Janice Resendez, Resendez wants to know who you pull for.
Well, college, we pull for Ole Miss because our son works in the athletic department there in communications. But we're Auburn fans. Ed went to Auburn. I worked at the university before our first child was born, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
But other than that, I just enjoy watching anybody. I do not watch the NFL, but I'll watch any college team. There's very few that I just don't like, but I won't name those. I will watch them. But I love Baylor. I love to watch Baylor. But it's pretty much, we usually watch Alabama. They actually play Ole Miss tomorrow, which might be a massacre. But we'll watch it, because a lot of times we're able to see our son on the field at the end of the game if they're at home and they win. He like collects the players and for interviews. He works with ESPN and the different ones that do the broadcasting. So it's kind of fun to see him on the field. But yeah, I pretty much will watch anybody play football. And of course, we root for the Astros as far as baseball. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I actually have a concert Sunday night. We get to sing with the singing men. The singing women and the singing men are going to sing together. Sing. So if any of you are anywhere close to Conroe, we'll be at First Baptist Conroe Sunday night at 6 o'clock. And you'll get to hear the singing men and the singing women in a combined concert. So y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe, and I will see you Monday at 6. Bye-bye.